given the last two games, you're gonna have to raise your level to beat Edmonton. Your thoughts about it tonight and going forward to Edmonton?
Well, we got it done, right? And I thought their goalie played very well. It ended up being close because we gave them some chances in the third period. Didn't think it should have been a close game, but we had to gather ourselves and score some big goals. There's probably a number of teams over the last 10 days or so that probably were in the playoffs, weren't completely happy with the way they played out the string. So we're just going to wipe that clean, and we're going to start fresh up in Edmonton.
A little surprised at that late penalty, 2-on-1 with an empty net and the puck goes over the glass. A little gift there, huh?
Yeah, you know what, we were just saying, like, there's so much, so many things, and never mind a whole game, a season that bring you to a certain point. That could have turned out much differently, no question, and we could have been heading in a different direction. But the game is the game. That's what it gave us. We took advantage of, executed well, and scored, and got the point that we needed. But yeah, we could be having a different conversation. It's the beauty of sports.
You happy with what you saw from Quinn Byfield's game tonight?
I thought it was probably his best game of the year, or certainly I noticed him more. He had 8 shots, he had 13 attempts. I don't think he's had that in his career. I don't remember it, not that I've seen anyways. And he was moving. I think you guys all watched it. It looked like he might be chasing something out there.
How do you look at the way the game ended? Because you did give away a lead in the third period, but then you did come back and you won.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're not going to spend too much time. We could be dissecting this one. What I would say is their goalie played very well. I thought we had a chance to put the game away much earlier than we did. Maybe we thought we had put the game away, but clearly we didn't. And give them credit. They're fast and they're dangerous. You saw that tonight. They outskated us on a number of occasions. And, the puck found the back of the net, but we were able to gather ourselves and get the goal, and Vegas lost, and so here we go.
It took a circuitous route here, but Kings Oilers, was there an air of inevitability, I guess, for this to happen?
I don't know. Like we said earlier, I mean, it was it certainly could have went the other way. So I don't know. Here we are. That's all I can say. And it's sports, and you never know what's going to happen. We're excited for the chance to go up there.
Well, given that they've been the team that stood in your way, whether it's fate or whether it's something that you guys covet, the fact that they have been the team that's stood in your way to get where you want to go.
Yeah, well, there's no question we've got a short history with them, but we were just excited to make the playoffs and go play whoever we were going to play. And like we said, it could have been a different team. We're just excited. We looked like it could have been Vancouver, could have been Edmonton, could have been Dallas. Oh, now it could be Edmonton or Dallas. We just want to get going, and we're excited. We're really excited.
Was there any sense, like you guys came off the third period and you knew that Vegas had lost, and that at that point you were
I didn't know that Vegas had lost.
Okay.
No.
So that didn't impact the way things started. The third period started.
No, I knew they were trailing. I didn't know. Nobody, we didn't pay any attention to that actually on the bench in the third period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, you rarely use timeouts, but you used one in the third.
Right. Yeah. Maybe should have used it one earlier. No, you're right. I think that might have been the first timeout I've used outside of just resting our guys for a 6-on-5 or a 5-on-4 or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. It changed pretty quickly, the momentum of the game, and that's hockey, and that's going to happen in the playoffs. There's going to be swings up and down both ways too. You got to try to just gather yourself and play, and I thought we did a decent job of that after that.
Jim, do you look at consistency now over the last few weeks? You guys have been up and down, and you can't afford to do that now.
No.
New season, so how do you approach that?
Well, the game changes. The players have played long enough, especially, we've talked about our veteran Kopi and Dewey and Louis specifically. They know that the game on Monday is going to look a lot different than the last week looked. That's obvious. We have a number of other players who now have played, multiple playoff games. They played against Edmonton, so we know. Talk about flipping the switch. We know what's going on Monday night, and we'll be ready for that.
Does that playoff intensity come naturally, or is there anything that has to be done to flip that switch?
No, I think it comes naturally. It does. You don't make it to the NHL and compete for 82 games and be a good enough, strong enough team to make the playoffs and not know what that feels like and have that level and have that burning desire inside you. So we're comfortable with that.
Well, we see Talbot back to the pipes on Monday, maybe your game one starter.
I'm not gonna confirm that. No, I mean,
Have you made a decision on your starter, I guess?
no, haven't even talked about that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're happy we got two good goalies.
Have you decided 11-7 versus 12-6?
No, haven't decided that either, but, yeah, we're just gonna see. We'll have to see. There'll be, we got time.
Coach, over the past, we talked to Todd about being built for the playoffs and the style that you guys play. And that's supposed to be good for the playoffs. So now, how do you feel about that at this stage, how you've gone since you've taken over?
Yeah. Well, I think, in the playoffs, every team tightens up. The game tightens up. So I'd like to think we play a tight game already, so that suits who we are.
Right.
So we don't have to change a whole bunch of who we are. And then the goals, they come by, they're dirty goals, greasy goals, random goals, and competitive goals, those types of things. So I think that describes our team really well. So I think we're set up really strong going into the game.
Jim, speaking of swing factors, if Q has plays in this series like he played tonight, if Victor continues to play like he has been since it's go back, how much of those can they be X factors, swing factors, whatsoever, that can benefit you guys?
Yeah, well, in the playoffs, everybody has to play well. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's players you don't necessarily expect, or guys who haven't scored as much because the style of game changes. They become the heroes. That happens often. So, do we need our leading scorers to score? Sure, we do. But we need everybody to contribute in all areas of the game. It's the only way you get through. And so, good to see them playing and Q, maybe getting some confidence from the goal, getting that off his back. But when we get going, it's all hands on deck, and we'll look for somebody to be the hero each night.
So
Jim,
much-
you've talked about, you used the word reset for the playoffs, and there's nobody probably needs a reset more than 80, and this is why he was brought here to have you guys deeper down the middle, so this is his time to reset.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's really excited. Yeah, he had a great playoff series last year against Vegas in Winnipeg. I know he's excited. I haven't talked to him about it specifically, but I know he's excited. I'm sure we're going to see his best.
Jim,
Matt?
I feel like there was a lot of trying to connect around an extra pass, maybe getting too cute. I think Todd used to call it globe trotting. They're the kind of thing that they have to, like you said, flip the switch, cut that out completely, get pucks to the net, kind of grind out those goals.
Yeah, just, whatever space there is on the ice over the last 10, 12 days, it just goes away in the playoffs. So it's, the globe trotting is just not there. You can't even do it. And one goal makes a difference in a game, and that can make a difference in a series. So I think everybody understands, it's just the mentality. Everybody understands that you do dial down your risk a little bit. Now you gotta go out and score still too, but players will dial the risk down just naturally.
Jim, does your practice change now? Is it gonna get schemed towards what Edmonton does very well and how to try to stop that as opposed to playing different teams over the last couple of weeks?
We'll have a bit of an emphasis on Edmonton because we know them so well. We'll have a bit of an emphasis on Edmonton, but you also don't want to, try and reinvent the wheel. We've got a style of play that we're going to make sure that our head's in the right place, that physically we're tip-top condition, we're going fast like it will be in the game, but we'll definitely do a few things with an emphasis on
What
that.
about you? You're gonna have butterflies for first game behind the bench and play?
Oh, I don't know if it's butterflies. I'm excited, but I'm excited every time I go out there. So, we've played big games against Edmonton. I played in the playoffs against them last year. We've had big games this year against them up in that building. It's a feeling of excitement and let's go. So I don't imagine it'd be any different than that.
Jim, one key simplification in this series, stay out of the box, obviously, against this team. I mean, how do you stress that to the guys? We gotta play a lot smarter in a consistent way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're aware, you know what I mean? They're aware and you just have to check with your feet. You just gotta be very, very focused and disciplined with your stick. Gotta keep it down, move your feet one extra stride, and then, you gotta skate. You gotta skate. You gotta use your legs more than your stick in those occasions. You can't give the referee opportunities to make
Jim,
calls.
Last question here, guys.
Jim, these last few games we've talked a lot about needing to kind of be comfortable with your game, be happy with your game going into the playoffs. Now we're talking about they need to flip that switch or find a mentality. Is there any concern that switch hasn't been flipped, that mentality hasn't changed yet, or is it, do you think, natural for teams to make that change after game 82?
Yeah, I think they do. I think, you know, I haven't watched the playoffs where there was a team that wasn't out there just giving everything they had. It's just, it's a special time. It's a long road to get to the playoffs. Lots of bumps and bruises, late nights, time, tired. Once you get there, it's on. And I think players understand that. You should compete pretty well.
Thank you.
Okay.